Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So today we're going to be doing this. I don't know why I feel so like scandalous, devious. I don't know the right words, but we're going to watch an episode with the fourth member that is gone. The fourth member. I'm so curious. I've never done this. And this is funny because I guess we're going to talk about fat shaming online or whatever. Whatever. I just wanted to see how they were. This is like at the start of 2024. I'm going to try to put myself back in those shoes. I was still smo. I was super morbidly obese. I was miserable, I'm sure, because it's rough to lose weight in the winter. And I was doing that year too. And I did it this year and it was rough again. But okay, let's go. I remember it. Now we're processing. Okay, let's go.
Hey everybody, we're the four Fab Fatties, and I'm Allie.
I'm Alyssa. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Maria.
And we hate trolls. But we
like,
love
where
you.
is this going?
We love you. Raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by the internet.
And what a week it's been.
And what a week it has been, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. What we don't want to do.
I'm already dying. I'm just going to let you know. I know I'm extra. I don't care. But I'm like, that was really awkward.
Is give these people any more attention than they bring upon themselves and their little incel armies. But what we will do is admit that we are human beings and that we have feelings. And we're going to discuss our feelings. All right, Rebecca.
I hate feelings.
She hates feelings.
We're aware. We're fully aware. Rebecca won't go to therapy. But this is Rebecca's therapy. So we have feelings. And fat girls are allowed to have feelings. I don't know if you're aware of that. But we're allowed to have feelings. We're allowed to have emotions.
Okay, is that your activistic point, Allie? Like, really? I don't know what world she's living in, but I don't think that there's exactly a stereotype that fat girls don't have feelings. I've never heard that before.
Because, again, newsflash, we are also human beings. So I don't know if you can tell, but there is quite a level of rage to my voice. I feel like my co-stars will also be joining me in that.
She called me a star.
You are a star, baby. You are a star. But yeah, so... since we
Tell me why I'm so badly wanting to be mid-sized princess for this. I really am. Oh, I want to. If they push me, the wig may come out. We'll see.
On our podcast, we and since we put out a little lighthearted 30-second little reel, little
I'm
TikTok.
sorry. Let's just stress that 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds
I
of
don't
a
know which
TikTok.
way this
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30
A
seconds.
30-second video just
Of a trend.
of a trend. You know, the one that's like, hey, we're realtors, of course or we're influencers, of course.
Yes, and those are the worst videos ever. They always get it out of me. They always do. I can't even pretend.
Or
We're therapists.
We're therapists, of course So we decided to play a little game and we're fat girls, of course
Yes, and those are horrible and everybody hates them. So I'm not shocked that you got hate.
We took a little spin on it because we have seen quite a few we're fat girls, of course and while we totally identified with them, we related to them, absolutely. They were funny. We felt that a lot of them addressed a lot of trauma that we've all gone through. So we wanted to put a spin on it that made it...
I need to find those. Do you think they still have them? I need to be quieter. It's late and I'm like yelling. I'm definitely alphabet tonight. I guess I'm not mid-sized princess. I'm alphaba. I'm dramatic.
A little bit more about the fun that we're having. And the internet did not like that.
I mean,
Well,
some people on
Some
the
people
internet
did, to be fair.
Specifically, the people who did not like it were men ages 17 to like 45. A lot of it was men, white American men, not fans of ours.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I wonder why. So they're talking about TikTok, right? I wonder why it was sent to them.
We are literal strangers to you, and let's get into it.
I was gonna say, oh honey, they're not spending any time actually getting to know us.
I know that none of you are gonna watch this. This is for our actual people who actually care about us. So, this episode is for you guys. This is for you guys, because none of any of that is gonna stop us.
Yeah.
It's like that scene from Ozark's, like, you're gonna stop me. You're gonna have to. I'm not gonna finish that, but none of that's gonna
kill me.
Thank you. None of that is gonna stop us. We're gonna keep showing up here for you because regardless.
Yeah, I will say they have improved a little bit because this is pretty awkward, and it seems to be very heavily led by Allie. But I'm just like, she likes to fight and stuff, which again, maybe she's not the only one. But I don't always fight anymore. I've learned to choose my battles wisely. Not everybody has. I feel so dramatic tonight. I don't know what is going on with me. You're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm really on one. I'm ready to go to the theater class right now. You guys gonna meet me on stage? I'm telling you, I'm feeling kind of mid-sized princessy. That's why I was like, but no. We'll just do alphabet. It's fine.
Of loud noises and loud voices and 26-minute reaction videos to a 30-second
Oh, I love it.
Who? We're not going to stop because
I wish they named names.
We don't have to be a certain size, a certain shape, a certain gender, a certain race, a certain anything in order to be worthy of just living our lives and having fun doing it. So yeah, we're going to share our feelings. We're going to share a little rage. We're going to do whatever we want to do. And maybe we're feeding the trolls. I don't know. I don't really care.
Let's be honest.
But we are human beings.
Let's be real. Ooh. You didn't have anything else to talk about. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know, TikTok, I think they said it's on TikTok. If they didn't, then I totally flopped. And I'm sorry, I'm flopping. But if it is on TikTok, TikTok is very fat acceptance-y for the most part. If I was on TikTok, which I'm not really on TikTok, like I am, but I don't actually post anything because it's too hard for me to come up with something in like a second. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these issues, you have to talk about it like deeply, and it's just too difficult for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a flop. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm just saying, like, they hated me. Oh, they hated me on there. But whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of getting tempted. I'm like, maybe next year. Maybe when I'm not in a deficit. It's tricky. But I'm like, I don't know. I need to be like ready, you know? And I'm not quite there. I don't know. Maybe it's a waste of time. I don't know. It's hard. That I struggle with that as an activist. I'm like, when is it good to be like super aggressive and fighting, and when is it good to not? Those are the kind of questions I have a lot because I feel like there are different seasons or different times or different places, etc., where it's good to be like that. But I don't know if this is the moment, you know? I think about it, you know? I think about it all the time. I do, because I think sometimes a lot of people, they're just like, oh, like for a while there, people were kind of testing me a little bit. Not a lot, I told you. It's like that 5% or whatever. The people who were getting triggered by me being mid, they were like trying to push me. And it's like, sometimes people think that I don't say things back because I'm like scared or weak or whatever. And it's like, no, like I don't all the time because I care about the cause and I want to be effective with the cause. So I absolutely will fight if it's necessary. It's actually really easy for me to do so. Probably too easy for me to do so. Again, I kind of relate to Allie in that way because she's kind of that way. But I'm trying to always stay constructive and smart and strategic with it because, you know, I've been a hot mess girly pop that just went for it. But it's like, I don't know. I like a good argument. I do. At least online and stuff, especially like rhetorically and all that. Like, I like a good argument. I do.
Beings. And we're allowed to be human beings. We're allowed to have feelings. And this is for you guys who have feelings too.
Well, I think one of the things that this does make me think about is...
Okay, they need to pick a lane. Are they going to get all aggressive or are they going to be like, this is for you and da-da-da? I don't know.
How many people might be fearful to have a presence online due to something that can be lighthearted just being taken up by some Joe Schmo, right, as fodder for internet laughs, you know? And I think that one of the things that we have to think about is there's like a lot of different types of trolling we can get in our lives, and it happens in various different ways on the internet. And we need to get a space to talk about it because it does affect you, even if you don't want it to, even if it's momentary. But it's not without consequence, right? Like, it's not like it doesn't affect your daily life for when it happens.
Do any of you guys know why she left? When she did that, I felt like a ghost spoke. You know, it was like, oh my gosh, she's in the room with us, you know? Do you guys know, do any of you know what happened? I'm so curious, like, and I'm deviously curious. Like, I know it's bad, it's personal, it's not good, it's kind of trashy, but I'm wearing the witch hat, okay? Like, I am. But it is like a mid-sized princess. I told you, I'm Elphaba. It's like, do you guys know why? Do you know? Because I'm so curious. Like, all I can see so far is she looks bored out of her mind, low-key. But let me know what you guys think.
And one of the things I was talking about, so I teach, and one of the things I was talking about recently with my students is how words have power. And one of my students' response was, I think words only have as much power as you give it. And it's really on you to monitor your feelings about it. And one of the things I want to think about with that student, but with people in general, is that really puts all of the responsibility on the person who's being served those words, served that message, etc., as if it's all up to you and how you interpret or how you allow yourself to...
Why is she bringing up something a student said in that way? Like, are her students young or maybe they're like older? I think she might be... I need to know more about these women. I do. I need to do a deep dive. I just do. Maybe I'll do some more deep dives with members. I need to know more. I'm telling you, I need to know. I need to. Because I'm like, why are you bringing that up? All I can say to that is, like, we can't control what other people say. All we can do is control how we react, basically. Which at times it can be difficult. Trust me, I know. I told you guys, I've said it many times, I'm a feeler. I have emotions, very strong emotions, and I'm reactive. So it's tough sometimes to control how I react. But I still do because I'm an adult. You know? But I understand it not being easy for the young. I totally get that. But you have to understand what you can control and what you can't. It doesn't mean that it's good that somebody said something horrible to you. It just means that how you react to it, especially within an activistic sense, and especially if you're trying to make a certain statement or you're trying to do something or whatever. Even if you're doing something, let's just say you're an artist and you're putting up like videos about your art or something. If somebody hates it, you still have to be able to process that and deal with it in order to keep going. It's not even just activistic, it's just creative in general. So, you know, it's really anything in life. We have to be able to deal with criticism and be able to discern if it's valid or not. And in order to do that, we have to not be overly reactive to criticism. You have to think about it rationally and logically, which, as people who are really feelery or whatever, like, there's a lot of like writers, for example, they have a really hard time with the criticism of their story and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot of stereotypes. And we have to still be able to judge if the criticism is valid or not, and be able to separate our feelings enough from the work of art or from whatever it is that we're doing to be successful at it. And it doesn't mean feelings are bad. I think feelings are such a huge motivation and they can be wonderful and stimulating and beautiful. But you still have to kind of rein it in a bit. You know, I use a lot of my feelings in my activism, but I have to still rein it in. You know, I couldn't get on here and just start crying for like 20 minutes or something. It'd be really weird. You can't do things like that. And it's hard within criticism because you have to also not be that upset by it. And sometimes it gets to you. But that's why I would suggest like having friends or other people that you can kind of vent to. And I would suggest not necessarily venting online. I do sometimes respond, but when I'm responding, it's for a specific activistic point or it's about an idea or something like that. There have been times where I've been personal before, but I tend not to. I try not to. Honestly, I try not to. Sometimes I just do. I don't know. Sometimes I just am being a bitch that day, honestly. It happens sometimes. I know it's certainly happened throughout the years since I've been doing this. But most of the time when I do respond, even if I'm being super bitchy, it's for an activistic purpose. Or like in the case of a certain somebody, I was trying to show how to put boundaries and show how to, you know, kind of fight with this stuff for other people and things like that. But I'm always keeping a perspective that other people see. Again, I'm not always perfect. I struggled a lot, like last year a couple times. Like, it's not always going to be perfect. I am a feeler. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's not necessarily an excuse. It's just, it's going to happen sometimes. You know, I'm never going to be perfect. But it's something that we work towards. And that's kind of my thoughts on it. But I'm sure they're going to go into a diatribe about how we have to control what everyone else is saying, which is never going to happen. So I guess let's see how that goes.
Think about it and so on, without actually thinking that these words do have a larger consequence to like the narrative or our society as a whole or so on, right? So like the thing is, we're not getting trolled with really unique things. We're getting trolled with very common negative stereotypes of fat people, right? And that does become a mainstream narrative that people use against others. So it's not just our feelings.
Okay,
right?
but the thing is, this is a very harsh criticism I'm about to give. You guys act like stereotypes very often and you reinforce them. So I'd really have to see the video. I wish that they would show the video that they're talking about because then I could see it. But I need to look into if they have them. I do. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be doing some deep dives. I probably will.
Real thing that then goes on and perpetuates into our lives and into the people we know.
I actually had to talk about it in therapy and ask my dietitian why everyone thinks fat people are going to die by the age of 40. I saw so much. It was the age 40 or 45. I didn't see a lot of anything else. I saw 40 and 45. You're gonna die when you're 40. You're gonna die.
So if we want to be real about it, let me tell you, I don't know exactly where you guys are at, like in terms of TikTok and stuff, but you guys angle your videos really badly, where you guys look a lot bigger than you are. So I don't know if they were doing that on TikTok, but that might be part of it. Because, like, from this view, we can get a more realistic view of your sizes. So maybe people wouldn't say that as much. I don't know about everybody, but there's a lot of compounding factors. There's a lot of health stuff. You know, you do have more time as a woman, but you don't have forever. It depends. There's like a lot of factors that go into an outcome. I would predict with certain people, but I'd have to know the complete circumstance. So based on, for example, Alyssa's history, there's been a lot of toxic ritualistic stuff going on, very unhealthy, right? Like all these different things. She's already having degenerative illnesses and stuff. And from what I've heard, some of you guys have said she's in her 20s, mid to late 20s, early 30s. Like she's somewhere around there. I don't know. I need to know more. But see, once I do know more, then I could actually say what I think. But I would say you probably will have a huge health crisis, specifically her, in 10 years. So I would say in 10 years, you'll probably have a huge crisis. And within that crisis, you'll come out of it or you won't. But you'll probably still have maybe 2 or 3 years post-health crisis to get it together. And that's because of all the damage you've already done and the lack of correction. You're not moving to the right course. You're not doing what needs to be done. So it will continue to get worse. I know for a lot of people, post-25 is a big thing. Like if you're super morbidly obese, you turn 25. It's really different after that. And I think especially for women, 35 is a huge shift. I think it's, my personal opinion is that it's about 10 years earlier for men. So really that 35 number as a woman, it's rough. If you get there and you're still smo, it's really hard. So yeah, it also depends on how long you've been super morbid. You know, there's just so many different layers to it. But you can also tell based on the degenerative issues that you're having now. You can kind of track the progress of it. I don't mean to be like super grim reaper about it. But I'm just saying, like, if your system is breaking down at 25, you probably don't have as long as you think. I'll put it to you that way. And that's very grim, but that's why people say things like that. So I hope that I gave some clarity on that.
Die when you're 45, and all I kept saying was, I can't wait to throw a banger now.
Surprisingly, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but there are thousands of teenage...
See, she's anxious about it. I can tell. Her face and everything that she said after that. She's like, and she has to drink water really fast. It's like she's nervous about it because she knows there's something to it. She knows she isn't healthy. That's what that was. Let me see if I can pull that up again.
About it in therapy and ask my
like look at her face.
Why everyone thinks fat people are going to die by the age of 40. I saw so much. It was the age 40 or 45. I didn't see a lot of anything else. I saw 40 and 45. You're gonna die when you're 40. You're gonna die when you're 45. And all I kept saying was, I can't wait to throw a banger now.
Surprisingly, you guys, I don't know if you know this.
Look at her face. She's like, her eyes are like shifting all over.
But there are thousands of teenage and early 20s doctors on.
See, she's like fiddling with her hands. She's doing all that. She's really nervous about it. And the thing is, like, I can pick up on that stuff, especially now with a higher dopamine. As a higher dopamine girly pop, being much more emotionally attuned, I can see all that. You know, I think most of us can. Let's be real. It wasn't like hidden. But I'm just saying, you can tell that you're anxious about it.
On Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. We were unaware. But the unsolicited medical advice that we were given is that we should all be dead by now. But miraculously, we're still here. And gosh, there's so many doctors online these days.
Yeah, a lot of doctors.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Maria?
good for a second. I'm
Sorry. That was so awkward. She's like, I can barely stand listening to you guys.
feeling
She's
a little
ramping
bit
up.
of rage.
She's ramping up.
So I'm gonna keep it for
I
a
feel
minute.
it. The white hot.
Okay. Because it seemed to me like you were totally bored out of your mind most of the time, but okay.
It's kind
so
of
I
like,
can like get my thoughts together.
I think like it's kind of
I'm
like,
almost scared.
I know I was gonna say, it's like right now those thoughts are going into a trash can. It's like sitting out in the sun, and it's like getting steamier and steamier in there. And at some point, that trash can lid's gonna.
They are having way too much fun. They love being hated. Look at them. They're having a blast with this. I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Burst open, and Maria's gonna let that festering pool out.
Speaking of trash.
Just kidding, it's not gonna be
Speaking of
festering.
trash
You're like, why do you say it's
cans and
festering?
how trash cans smell. A lot of you seem to be experts on how fat women smell.
Oh my gosh.
How do you know? How do you know? If you are so repulsed by us, how do you know? How do you know? How do you have that much experience? I think you all smell very lovely. I know I smell lovely. You all smell great to me. But,
Awkward.
yeah. Wow, the rage is just, it's happening. It is happening
and,
as
like-
we see it. We do.
Okay, but you're like barely even able to talk. Get it together, Ali.
We are human beings and we have feelings and we're allowed to have feelings.
They are too. I mean, that's not a good argument. They have a feeling. They saw you. They didn't like you. They're like, ugh, that's a feeling. Their feelings are valid too, I guess. I mean, lame argument. Come on. Come on. Come on, girls. Let's do something a little more.
Yes, going back to what Rebecca said, words do have an effect on people. And
Yeah, you
Not
guys are
just-
having a blast. I mean, clearly, you guys love it.
on the four of us, but we are looking out for our community, for the people that we are putting this content out there for.
Yeah.
Because we have had some beautiful messages, some absolutely incredible messages from people that we love and people that we know and absolute strangers, and they've been incredible, and they've asked.
She's flopping. You're ruining the. I can't. You're ruining the flow. Do you want to be ragey or not, Ali? You're like toning it down. This is like making me mad. I'm definitely in third class today. Like, I'm not impressed by this show. I'm not. I'm like, if you want to get all into the hate and rage, then build it up. Let's like have an emotional build up. Let's have a moment. But then you're like, oh, we're talking about all you guys that we love. And da-da-da. It's like you're bringing down the mood. Ugh. I'm mad. That irritated me. If I was sitting at that table, then I'd be like, that would be my thoughts. Because I'd just be like, ugh. You're ruining the mood, Allie.
Absolutely helped to drown out all the other noise.
Look at her face. Look at her. She's like, she's so bored. I feel like she's so bored. I really do.
Someone in our circle actually said something the other day that really kind of helped me put into words, I think, a little bit of what I was feeling. Can I say her name? I mean, we love her so much.
Well, I also feel like we're kind of dancing around it, and people who are listening to us or watching us might not fully understand what has happened because we've joked a little bit. But essentially, yes, someone made a response video to our TikTok. It was a 26-minute long video where he stopped and paused
Who?
and commented on all of us and basically called us stupid, fat.
Who?
We are fat, but
I need
like
to stop yelling. I'm sorry.
in a pejorative way, right? And
Burden on society.
yeah, he said really negative things. And the thing is, this was a lot.
I wonder if it's Alan. I wonder.
Live, where literally thousands of people showed up to also dunk on us. And
Where
so
he makes money off of the platform by objectifying other fat people, and that
every
is just
single
the
one of his videos.
sick.
that's his.
It's so.
That's his job.
No, but
That's
that's
no, I know, but like that's literally how he's making his living.
no, I know, and that's the one thing that
I'm just being a messy queen tonight. I'm living for the tea, even though it's so You can tell how badly I'm reaching for tea because it's so stale and cold. Not even cold, it's like lukewarm, and there's probably some mold on it. But I don't even care.
Actually will cause me rage.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, I just do not understand.
Oh my gosh, you girls are so lame. Just say names, please. Can we normalize just saying names, please? I do.
How in this day and age we have made all of the strides that we should have been making about racism, right? With sexism, right? But like, where's the strides for the fat community?
There's still a lot of work to go.
Fatness is just so different. It really is. It's so different. You guys struggle with that so much. It's just so not similar.
Yeah.
No, there is.
Like, there's racism too.
And racism.
There's 100%. There's still a lot of work to be done culturally across the board.
But why is
when
it still
comes to equity
socially
and
acceptable to dunk on fat people all the time? Why? Why is that okay?
No, he's making a living.
He's making a living. And the funny thing is that if you go and
not them trying to compare something like that to racism. I'm just not even gonna get into that.
we're not gonna tag him, we're not gonna anything.
No, don't go watch. Don't go give
do
him
not
money.
go watch. But like if you look at his channel.
Okay, well you guys suck. I hate you. I officially hate you all for not saying it. I do. I'm mad.
Every single one of his videos, he has literally stalked down fat people and fat girls, right? And every single one of his videos is about a fat girl. And it's literally, Rebecca, please, when you're editing this, please put this meme up there for me.
It's almost like there's a niche. You know, everything you guys talk about is being fat too. It's just crazy.
Because I've been talking about this meme all week. This is literally the perfect opportunity to use the meme.
Why are you so obsessed with me? They could ask me that. They could. I don't know that I have an answer right now, but you guys are too. You guys are too. Why are you obsessed with them? Let me break the fourth wall. Why are you guys obsessed with them? I don't know. You're obsessible. That's my answer.
Mean girl, mean girl, mean.
My interest has been piqued. That's never a good thing. It isn't good. It isn't good. It's not. You guys are not going to like that. Because when I get into a mode, it's like I'm going to start looking deep. I'm going to start diving deep and looking for stuff. And I would never like expose something that's not public or anything. I'm not that way. But to me, it's like if it's public or out there, then it's fair game, you know? Which I'm not necessarily trying to cancel them or anything. It's just, I want to know more. I want to know more context. I want to know more. That's how I feel. So, I don't know.
Of Regina George going, why are you so obsessed with me? Like, for someone who claims to hate us so much, that's all he does. That's all this man does is just obsess over fat people. And he sells the fear of being fat. And that's essentially what it is. And I think that's the point I was getting to earlier, is that our friend, can I say her name?
Just call her V.
Just call her V.
Our friend V, from our lovely plus group here in Charlotte. We love you so much. She sent us the nicest message. She also sent us that she sent us some rage. She was angry for us, but she was angry for herself too. And that's a lot of what we're feeling as well, is we're angry for us and we're angry for our community too, because the comments that we're getting, the response that we're getting from these hateful people is continuing to perpetuate some of our worst fears, that we have done the work to expel from our brains, but that have been instilled in us from a very young age of being
It's so
worthless,
weird
of taking...
because, like, they're saying this stuff, right? With the exception of Maria, I think is her name. Maria. They're, like, having a blast. Alyssa, this is, like, the most fun she's had in forever. That's what it looks like. I mean, they're having a lot of fun. I haven't been paying that much attention to her because I feel like she's bored. But it's like, you guys like the fight. You like the stimulation. You like the give and take. You like all that stuff. Like, the emotional pitch is just not there. You can't be like, and I'm so devastated that you did. Like, it's like, I don't believe it. You guys are like, oh my gosh. You guys are like having fun together, talking about this. Never seen people have so much fun being hated, Just kidding. There's a lot of people that do that online. They do. But it's like, sometimes that spark or that little bit of give and take, it can be exciting or fun or whatever. Even within an activistic sense, like you see it all the time in politics where people like fight and stuff, and people like that kind of thing. It can happen in activism too, like of other kinds. All I can tell you is if FA ever goes full blood sports, I'm so ready. I'm just letting you know. I would go for it so fast if they start to totally lash out, which they might. Honestly, Fat Lash 2025 has still predicted it. So far, it's been an institutional Fat Lash, where it's like YouTube is kind of cracking down on certain things and stuff like that. That's what I've noticed so far. But if they went full on, I would be so ready. They would not even know. They would not even know what they were getting into. But to be honest, it would be fun for me. I'm going to be real. Like, it would be fun to fight and stuff. Like, you guys will know the day that one of them makes a video about me. Oh, honey. I would have fun. Y'all would have fun. I tell you guys to open up. I'm not even really like pro alcohol like that, and I can't really be as anti-FA activist because it does not help with losing weight. But you guys can have some fake BS diet culture bullshit drink with me, and we will just like, I know you guys would love it. You'd love it.
Taking up too much space, of being a burden, of being gross, disgusting, whatever those words are, even though they they're just words, sticks and stones, whatever.
Face. I feel it. I'm bored too. She's boring. I'm like, you're boring the hell out of me, Allie, right now. Please.
They're perpetuating the myth about us. And it's those words that we have worked so hard to expel from our own minds. And trust me, if you think that you're dunking on a fat girl, you can't say shit to her now that she has not said.
Because they're all like, ugh.
To herself, and 10 times worse. I promise you, because she has been conditioned by society to hate herself. And
they were like, where is she going with this? And then she says something like, oh yeah, we've all been there, da-da-da. But to me, it's like, I don't know. I'm just so critiquey, too. I'm so weird. They could totally do that meme of like, why are you so obsessed with me? I just love to critique them. I just do. I don't know what happened. Something sparked in my brain recently. And it's like, I'm just like, I wish that she... it's because it's my flop month. That's why. And they're very floppy. That's exactly why. And I'm just like, I wish that she would like build up the emotions better. Like, she's going too weird with it. It's like, we're going in this serious direction, but then we're going in this angry direction, but then we're going serious, but then we're not, but then we're like, it's like, girl, you're not eating. I'm like, come on, like, ugh. Gosh, it's driving me nuts.
While again, we do have big feelings, and we are allowed to have big feelings because we are human beings.
I mean, I'm glad that she's kind of bad because it helps. I know that's terrible to say, but it does. It helps me. Like, it helps when they're not convincing or, like, when they just suck. Typically, FAs are better emotionally than this. There's a lot that are good at it, which is horrible. Like, Aubrey Gordon, as horrible as she is, she's very good at it. She's very good at the emotional side of the activism. And that's why I do see her as kind of more of a threat. I think it would be difficult. Like, Aubrey Gordon would never, ever, ever debate me. She would never do it. She'd never debate anybody. I just know she wouldn't, because I think she'd get probably too reactive, and she would never want to show that. So she'll never be on anything where, in my opinion, she'll never actually be debating somebody. I would be absolutely shocked if she was. But if she did, and she was, like, on her A game, it would be difficult to debate her. Because she would be using a lot of, like, emotional, like, stuff, and she's good at it. And so I'd have to do it back, and it would be like, whoa, I have to really be on my shit right now. But with them, you know, I'm a Leo. It's like, I feel like a cat playing with the mouse, you know? It's just like, they're not that good. They're not exactly a worthy opponent. Like,
yeah, it is. You're throwing back at us what we used to fear was what society thought about us. And I think the four of us are fortunate that we have done so much work to get to a space where those words don't necessarily affect us as much as they used to. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. And I know I can't lie to you guys because you saw it. Did I cry? Yeah, I did cry.
Yeah, I actually want to talk about that.
Oh,
So
girl.
we had
Ooh, she definitely got better. She is terrible in this. Girl, you did improve. I will give her that. Allie did improve a lot. That's like, yeah, because, oof.
First off, the video that we had made went viral on Instagram. So we've been getting a bunch of comments. Literally
Maybe
sometimes
it was Instagram?
I don't know, 80 in an hour. I mean, a lot. Again, primarily negative ones. The negative ones were primarily from men. And
Okay,
then,
if it was Instagram, people on Instagram are really nasty. Like, I think that Instagram is probably the most mean comment section. You know, it's all the isms, all the phobias, all everything, all the time. In those comments, people are so nasty on Instagram. Like, they're really vicious. The Instagram in general is very negative, honestly. I think it's like, well, I think all of them are, to be honest. I think all of the platforms are kind of negative. TikTok is really negative too. It's like, holy crap. You know it's bad when YouTube is probably one of the least negative, which I'm just saying, it's true. Because TikTok is super vicious. Or like the algorithms are really negatively spun. But Instagram is really looks-based, and it's really like aesthetic. So if you're not it on Instagram, people are nasty because they go to Instagram looking for aesthetic and for a kind of like moment. And people on there are just really nasty, basically. Like I said, they're just hateful, divisive, you know, all across the aisle, all across everywhere. Male, female, everything. It's like one of the most nasty, like those comment sections are vicious is all I'm trying to say, like truly. And sometimes we're here for it, you know, because sometimes I want some toxicity in my life, so I'll just look at comment sections on Instagram. But it's like, you have to understand the expectation too. Like, I don't think I follow, shout out, as if she needs a shout out, but I follow Snoop Slimes, obsessed, recently got totally obsessed. I don't see tons of hate comments on Snoop Slimes. You know, Snoop Slimes, she's making like these super aesthetic slime videos. Like, I'm cutting the slime with a knife. It's like very ASMR-y. It's just not going to necessarily be toxic, but you know, you have to like take responsibility for what you're following too. Like, if you don't, But anyways, that's just a different topic. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off track. But the point is, like, I would not have an expectation that Instagram wouldn't be toxic as hell. Like, I love Instagram. I love it. I'm an Instagram girly pop. I'm a millennial. I love Instagram. You know, I could literally wear a shirt that says that. Like, I loved Instagram from the second it started. I just have always loved it. But honestly, it's toxic. It is. The algorithms are really negative and toxic. The comments are, like, I feel like a lot of people, maybe it just because it's so millennial skewed, a lot of people go in there and they just want to complain, basically. I don't know. I don't know. I love it. I love it so much.
And then this other longer thing happened, right? So the first was Instagram and then was this. And so what I really want to kind of hear and talk about, because we can get kind of more into other things about it, but what was it?
I want to see that reel so bad. I might have to do a video just going through it and looking at the comments and stuff.
Like, being trolled. Like, what was all of your individual responses to it happening? Because some of us have been more public online than the others. But also at the same time, basically me and Allie are way more public on the internet than those two are. But at the same time,
The others.
even me and Allie have said, like, we haven't been trolled like that before.
That was awkward.
You know? And so I do think it's important to, like, acknowledge that we all respond.
Hold on,
and
I
deal
wanna
with it
see that
differently.
again.
So I mean, a lot.
I'm a problematic queen tonight. You guys just have to deal with it.
Again, primarily negative ones. The negative ones were primarily from men. And then this other longer thing happened, right? So the first was Instagram and then was this. And so what I really want to kind of hear and talk about, because we can get kind of more into other things about it, but what was it like being trolled? Like, what was all of your individual responses to it happening? Because some of us have been more public online than the others. But also at the same time, basically me and Allie are way more public on the internet than those two are. But at the same time,
The others.
even me and Allie have said, like, we haven't been trolled like that.
I do admit she is kind of bad. Do you think that they fired her or did she quit? She's not really good. But then again, they're not really that great anyways. But I feel like, I think it's probably better without her. I know that's harsh, but she's not adding anything.
That before, you know? And so I do think it's important to, like, acknowledge that we all respond and deal with it differently. So I am curious kind of.
I literally just feel like she didn't like him. Like, to me, she gives a vibe that she doesn't like the girls. That's what I feel like. And maybe I'm just seeing something there that isn't there. Maybe I'm just being a messy queen tonight. I don't know, but that's what I feel like. I feel like she didn't like him.
How you responded to it.
I think that's a really great question.
Yeah.
I want to hear Maria's answer.
Sure. So I had a plethora of emotions all at once. It went from go fuck yourself to I'm gonna flip over this table to I swear if they say one more thing about the people I love, I will hunt them down. And yes, my little FBI agent was working OT all week. But I don't really care, because, like, people tell us we're so mad, we're so angry all the time. This is why. This is the righteous anger.
I'm not feeling it. All my feelers in the audience, what are you feeling from her? It's weird, right? I don't even know what to make of that. What the hell?
All at once. It went from go fuck yourself to I'm gonna flip over this table to I swear if they say one more thing about the people I love, I will hunt them down. And yes, my little FBI agent was working OT all week. But I don't really care, because, like, people tell us we're so mad, we're so angry all the time. this is why. This is the righteous anger that we all feel and that lives inside of us. It's not just we woke up mad. It's people push and they poke and they pick and then they wonder why we break. And that shows up in so many different ways, whether it's the crying because you're so angry that you can't get your words out, or it's you just completely shut down, or it's having to like hide yourself away and just be alone, or it's flipping over this fucking table.
What? Whoa, that's wild. Well, maybe she just wasn't cut out for it, you know? I can understand that. I can. It's tough sometimes. I don't know. It's weird. Like, okay, a lot of times when I feel like I'm like really not teaching you guys, but like I'm just talking a lot today. I feel like when Alyssa talks emotionally, I may think that the emotions are too much or like she's too triggered or like she shouldn't be doing it, but I feel it from her. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel it. I know it's genuine. With her, it's like, I don't know, like maybe she just has like cold girl anger or something. Like, I don't know. That was cold to me. Or kind of like, it's either cold or she can't express it or something. Like, there's something off with that. You know, maybe she's struggling to express it. I don't know.
Expect us not to have a reaction. Because when we react, no,
Why
you
is
can't
that girl
do that.
so angry?
Well, that's anybody. There's a lot of people online that don't like you to react. And that's kind of an American culture thing, to be honest. It's probably some other cultures too, but American culture is like obsessed with like, if you react, then you're wrong, or, you know, type of thing, which I don't agree with that because I'm reactive. I think it's like discriminatory against reactive people. I'm just kidding. Kidding, but not. But I don't agree with that, but I do think a reaction without strategy is a flop. Basically, that's what I would say. I think a reaction can be powerful if it is reined in enough or if there's some structure to it. Because I just don't even know what, like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like I didn't feel anything when she was talking. So I'm like, is this real or not? Like, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about.
Why are that girl so angry? Oh my god, can't you take a joke?
God, you're so rude.
Maybe she's too shy. Maybe.
Bitch, my whole life has been a joke to you. And I'm done.
Yeah,
So,
we're not the punchline. And we're not
No.
going to be the punchline.
and I'm
Because
just
all I'm getting from her is anxiety. It's like I'm not getting anger. I'm getting anxiety. It's my anxiety. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into that. But that's what I was feeling with that. I'm like, I feel like you're just really anxious. You're talking about it and you're like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. And it's like, so maybe that's why she quit, because she was too anxious. Because that's what I'm feeling. It's just anxiety. That's what it is. What do you guys think? I'm curious. This is so interesting to me. I don't know. Like I said, you know, maybe I'm honing in too deep. I don't know, but maybe I can be introvert cringe today. You guys can deal with my introvert cringe.
I'm so over it. I'm so over it. I normally don't swear this much, but I feel like there's a time and a place for swearing, and it's when you need to get across your point and really nail it home. And so my
You
point
didn't do
is,
that though.
people need to stop saying mean things about my friends.
And about you.
Sure, and about me, but I can take it. I can take it. I shouldn't
Then you
have
stop.
to,
Yeah.
but I can. But when you say things about the people I love, it's a different kind of rage. And it's not okay. Especially for like lived experiences versus something you've never experienced and to have an opinion on it. No. No.
Well, I have, so you can't say that to me. Ooh. Boom. No, I'm just kidding. goes your point. Boom.
Yeah, I
don't know how much we want to get into about the things that were said. But
I am a Leo, but for some reason I'm looking at the viewfinder and I'm like, I look more like a Scorpio today. I am a Scorpio rising, though. Yeah. That's why.
when you take away somebody's actual lived experiences and try to gaslight them into a life that they didn't have, or try to reframe something in a way to fit your narrative, no. That's where we draw the line.
Well, that's the
we're
thing.
done.
It's such falsehoods, right? Because again, it's a 30-second video. How much can this person actually?
They are literally not even saying any examples or anything, though. Like, you need to say, like, what was something that they were saying. Like, you guys can't dance around this the whole time. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is like, oh my gosh.
About us,
Right.
But it doesn't matter because our body is going to tell them all that they feel they need to know,
Right.
And so it feels on one hand like my response was first I'm kind of like, we woke up and I found out in the morning, right? So I am trying to have a productive day, and I'm trying to go do all the things that I'm responsible for. It was a day that I needed to go in and teach. I have to be there be present and focused with my students, with my job. And at first I was like, I just don't even want to see it. Like, I understand it's happening. I cannot give it my mental attention. But it's really hard to know that people are saying things about you online, or that they're doing stuff with your friends or whatever, and not eventually get curious about what is on there, right? So after a while, I was like, okay, send me the link. And I had already been seeing the comments on Instagram. And I will say my first response with the comments on Instagram was to start yelling back. And
Okay.
I was like, stop feeding the trolls. And then
I
Allie went and
Allie
fed the
fed the
trolls
trolls.
for days, okay? But...
And if any of you are watching this, a lot of you have personal info tagged in your bios. I just need you to know that.
Yeah. It's
A
amazing.
lot of
It's
you.
amazing how bold someone is with their employer tagged. I'm like,
Your employers
oh, sir.
tagged in your bios.
Sir. But
yeah, it blows
anyways.
my mind how many people just
Oh, okay. Don't worry. I'm going to do some research on you guys, too. I'm just kidding. This pen ran out of ink. It ran out. I used it that much.
think it's okay to say these things online.
Yeah.
Like, you would never say
Okay,
this
so
to
you
my
want to
face.
be...
Oh, no.
You want to threaten people's jobs and stuff? I'm like, okay. So we're not a victim then. This isn't a victim narrative. So let's drop the victim act, please.
Absolutely not.
Never.
Never.
So then later in the day, I was like, okay, send me the link. And I start watching the
That's
video.
fine. You can fight back or do whatever you feel like you need to do. But if you're doing that, you can't also claim to be a victim. I think that that's the thing about it is people, I understand that concept. Like when you are fighting back, you're not a victim because you're fighting back. So that's fine. I totally support people fighting back. But I don't really support all that necessarily. Like, I don't know. I would never... I'll put it to you this way. As an anti-FA activist, if somebody said something fat acceptance to me, or they're like, oh my God, your voice, or oh my God, whatever people are going to say, I wouldn't want to go after their job. You know what I'm saying? That's just not where I would jump to. I don't think that that's necessarily going to change minds and stuff, and I think it can get kind of nasty. Like, I don't know. And the threats and stuff, I don't know if it's convincing. Like, you're not proving your point, is what I'm trying to say. That's basically my criticism. A point isn't being proven with that. If anything, it's showing that you don't have a point, or you have like a problem, or you know what I'm saying? There's something going on. Now, I would never ever advocate for like literally hating on these girls or like freaking them out. I've told you guys many times, I don't agree with like triggering anxiety or things like that at all within a person. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that or they don't think about it, which that's something that I hope to bring more attention to. Like, you don't want to make somebody more anxious that has these issues. You're actually making it worse, or you're feeding into it, this type of stuff, basically. So I would never support that. However, you know, I'm here. You guys are here. I like to criticize them. I do. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I just like to. I like to cover them, and you guys like it when I cover them. So you're just as bad as me. So that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Now, again, because he is very obviously, he just has this one view of who a fat person is, I start listening. I'm like, garbage. All right, like total garbage.
Okay, fair enough.
Sad that he makes his living this way. But what got me was in the comment.
That's the thing too. When you do those types of things, you can lose people right away. So that is something to listen to, you know, or to take in. Or we definitely, in anti-FA, we need to have people who are softer or nicer, or these kinds of things. I think we need all different kinds of people, but that is still information to take in, and I think it's valid. I think what she said is valid. She tuned it out immediately. I get that.
It was obvious that some of the people who are watching and responding to his video have followed me in some capacity. So they knew some of my history. They've known that I had weight loss surgery. They were talking about, like, shame on her. She's had weight loss surgery. How is she celebrating fatness? And I'm like, I'm still fat. And, like, it was, I think that was harder for me because then I'm like, okay, these people have seen something about me besides this. They seem to have some sense of who I am as a person, and they are still okay taking in commentary about me that's so negative and joining in on it. And I think that was harder for me than Joe Schmo talking about me. And I was like, ooh.
She's eating here. I think that makes sense. It's not easy. It isn't easy. Like, and I don't support it. I told you guys, I don't support like hate piling and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think for a while I was so mad at them because of like the stuff that they were encouraging and stuff. But very recently, which I don't know if it has to do with dopamine or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just evolving. Maybe sometimes we learn and grow. I don't know. But I've started to be able to separate the people from the DIS order. And it's like, I don't hate them as people at all. And I understand more like why people are rooting for them, if that makes any sense. I think it's futile. You know, ultimately, I don't think anything will come of it. The only one I think may change is Alyssa. She might. But it will probably be a long time if she does. So, I hope so. I do. I'd love it if they all did, but I don't see Ali ever changing. Maybe she will. You know, sometimes people, when they're the most against it, maybe they're fighting something within. You know, you never know. You can always have hope, I guess. But they're so severe that it's like, I don't know if it'll ever happen. But I can understand why you guys feel that way. And I think for me, as I've watched them and stuff, I've gotten to know them more. And there are, like, I don't know, there's like a little bit of a lore about them, you know? There's a little bit of lore. There's like, oh, what is this? What is that? What is that? You know, it's like, I'm interested. And that's something, you know? So you guys have something. Of course, it's buried under the toxic ritualistic BS, which is horrible. But there's still something there, you know?
An emotional reaction. I don't like to feel my feelings. I don't like to feel my feelings.
I don't know. It's like you guys have complicated stories. Like, I don't know. It's It's interesting. You guys are interesting. I guess I'm gonna say it. You guys are interesting. You are. There's something to it.
All day, and
Like the fact that there's like tea or drama that she left for some reason. Like, I'm like, I just have so many questions, and I don't know. I guess I like a little bit of mystery. I guess I don't know.
that bothers me. It bothers me that it took my attention and focus. It bothers me that I felt anxiety about it because who knew where I was going to go. I saw how much the viral Instagram had gone. And it did feel like that robbed me of something. It robbed me of my attention that day with my students. It robbed me of just peace of mind. Yeah, and so that annoyed me. And yeah,
I'm going to pick it up from here tomorrow. So I'm going to react again. I'm probably going to react in the morning. So we'll see if I'm like a mega bitch tomorrow when I wake up. I don't know. Sometimes when I film in the mornings, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm in a totally different space. So let's see how it is tomorrow. But I will talk to you guys later. Let me know what you think. This is interesting to me. I don't know why. I had a lot of fun with this tonight, but whatever. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.